animals.
And you've seen it firsthand.
Yes.
Like I have.
I know. I can point you out
Except
those girls a mile away.
Graham's friend.
Yeah.
There's this whole new wave this year where there were different younger ones coming in.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Joe.
They're on the Trump train.
I think it was just
Trump Express.
a lot more have.
Yeah.
I think a lot of families were like, okay, maybe we had it wrong.
Getting off the crazy train and onto the Trump train. Joe, would you warm me up extra today? Thank you so much. I will entertain people.
You're going to entertain people. What?
Yeah. On the chat line, if you're looking something up.
Please.
Yeah. I'm going to sing.
I'd like to get their comments in more if possible. We always have so much content.
Good morning, Mitch. Good morning, Kimberly.
Please talk, baby.
How's it going? Oh, I need to turn it. But anyway, Vic, no, I went to bed late and then had to get up really early this morning because Kellen had lacrosse workout before school. So I had to take him to that. So, yeah. Good morning, Addie. Have you guys been watching Tulsa King or Yellowstone, Joe or Vic?
All of it.
Love it. What about my new favorite with Billy Bob?
Yeah, Landman.
Landman. Isn't that good? Have you seen that one?
It's good, but it's not even close to being as good as Yellowstone right now.
No. But
it started off good, and it's just kind of, to me, it just kind of hit some more stuff. More stuff needs to happen. It's almost like comedy.
Yeah, it is comedy for sure. That like the daughter, I can't even watch. I'm like, oh gosh, so good. I don't have daughters. Yes, Kimberly, Yellowstone. Gotta love Beth.
Be careful when you say that because you're going to get granddaughters. And just, I had somebody explain this to me once. I'm so glad I don't have daughters. And then granddaughters show up.
I'm sure.
Or evil daughter-in-laws.
That will be horrible.
You'd never think it.
I
had this conversation at my son's football game 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
She's like, I didn't have to deal with daughters, thank God, but one of my daughter-in-laws is made up for it all.
That would be awful. That really would be. Now, I have nieces, so my brothers have all girls, and I, of course, think that they're perfect. But
they probably are.
They're pretty good girls. They've been good. Excuse
God
me.
Bless you. God bless you again.
Thank you. But yeah, they're good girls. I wouldn't want to be not a good girl and have my brothers for a dad. That's for sure. What?
I can already see Kellen marrying somebody you're not a fan of.
Wow. He'd be the one too. Just to go find somebody off their rocker. Just, I don't know. I really, now I need to start praying for those women.
Amen.
Now,
you do.
I do.
Amen. That's exactly
I'm
what you
going
do.
to. Oh my gosh. I think Brosnan he'll pick well. The other two, no telling. Good morning, Donna. Do you need us to laugh, Donna, or are you talking about life in general? Because we can laugh. if you need us to. Happy Tuesday, Tanya. Whoa. This new phone update, did you guys get your new update on your phone?
Yes.
Holy smokes. It's bizarro.
It's bizarro.
Oh my gosh. I can't do anything. Like, I was just going to reply to Tanya and I was about to send an email to her. You can either hit reply or message and it like pulled up like an email. It was really weird. Thank you, Tanya. Yes. I have bad allergies too, so who knows what's going on with my sneeze. Ooh, what's a good newer comedy? Gosh, I don't know. You know, I know this is bad, but I typically don't look for comedies to watch. I am like such a bore.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what I did watch the other night. It's really not funny, but the Netflix movie Lee, about Lee Miller with Kate Winslet. Lee Miller was a female photographer back in World War II.
This already sounds like it makes me want to go to sleep.
No,
I'm sorry.
I love World War II and I love the Holocaust. And so she worked for Vogue. She was an American, but worked for Vogue in France. And anyways, you know, they didn't let women do much of anything during that time, especially be on the front line, but she managed to get in the front line, and her photographs, many of what you see at the concentration camps after the liberations and things like that, those were her photographs. Lee Miller, she's got archives of just these amazing, amazing photographs. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody watching, but anyway, it's
nobody's
definitely
gonna watch it anyway, don't worry. I'm sorry.
Joe just said he's in. Joe's got it pulled up on his screen. It's on Netflix.
You know why Joe would watch it? There's one big reason why.
Because he loves Kate Winslet.
No.
What?
Joe, tell her why you were interested in that. It's because Joe's a photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was like, where's he going with this?
I know you better than you know yourself. I am your daddy.
You oh, jeez. Yeah, exactly. No, Joe, you might and you might not appreciate it. I just really did, because it really just showed like the human side of what was happening there. And her as a photographer, it messed with her for years, what she, bore witness to. And but her pictures are just absolutely amazing. So you let me know what you think about it.
Why is South Korea declaring martial law to protect their government from North Korea? Mm-hmm. What the hell is going on?
I would too.
Sweet baby Jesus.
North
Help
Korea,
us all.
They're nuts. I mean, nuts. It's 9:00.
Yep, waiting on Joe. Sad. Presents partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election,
nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together. All right, it's cancelthisshow.com. There I am, Vic Faust. There's Megan Marie Moret. Projo in the house as well. Wait a second, before we get started, why is somebody saying, please, Megan, have you not seen Elf? Of course she has.
No, I have seen Elf and I love it. I'm responding to Donna right now. Yes, I love Elf. It's one of the best. I've seen funny movies. I mean, I love stupid humor. I just typically, that's just not my first go-to. I'm a documentary, nerd.
Yeah, you kind of are.
I am.
I
know. It's terrible. I need to lighten it up a little bit. Good morning, Jamie.
Hey, Tuesday's also a giving day around the country. Your favorite charities, always the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Just reminding you, if you find something that you like to donate to, today's the day. A lot of charities need that. They look for the help, and that's how they survive. So we're grateful that you're joining us. The news headlines, politics, 2024 election, cancel culture as we head into 2025, ending 2024. We appreciate you guys jumping in on the podcast platform. You can do that via Facebook. You can do it X. You can do it on Rumble. You can also watch shows on YouTube. They're not live there, but you can also check out our daily content as we pop our reels on all of our social media platforms. We are grateful for you guys jumping in and helping us out everything that you do. We appreciate the small donations at cancelthisshow.com. You can click on donate and help us there. All right, we're ready to rock and roll this morning. I still feel amazing, basking in the glory of Donald Trump's victory because more and more good continues to happen. Yesterday, we were wondering what Donald Trump would do to help us all. And Donald Trump is helping us because his picks for cabinets are legitimately messing up these liberal people, these liberal anchors, these liberal hosts. The only reason I show her is because she is breaking a record because she slanders people. And then if she doesn't apologize or read the correct law statements on TV, she will get sued because you want to talk about nasty, entitled, racist. Her name is Sunny Hostin, and she's on The View, but that's fine. She's an antagonist, and she wants to be an antagonist. She's not very intelligent. Clearly, she wasn't raised by good parents because she would have a heart. She has no heart, and she says things that are lies intentionally, not by mistake. She's unprovoked, and yet she continues to rip conservatives. And guess what? She had to do another legal reading yesterday. She's doing her best to make it a joke and to be as disrespectful as possible. But this is why The View has no ratings. This is why they're a disaster of a show. And this is what the Democratic Party has become, which is why they got their asses beat. Do you know, real quick, not to get too off subject, that Kamala Harris did not switch one single county in America?
I'm not surprised by that at all.
Not one. That's how bad the blowout was. That's how bad of a candidate she was. And just think back to the Democratic people and the friends that you know who tried to tell you she was so great. She lost she didn't gain one county. And of course, we told you every single state voted more Republican this election than they did in the last. Here was Sunny Hostin, because what she does and what they do on that platform there is they rip conservatives and Republicans and they lie. And just because you hear something on TV or the media does not mean it's true. So guess what? Legal called The View and said, you're getting your ass sued again. Unless you do this. You know who Sunny Hostin is, right? This woman.
Do I? Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's Sunny.
You know how I love The View.
Yes, Glenn, she's an attorney, or at least she did have a law degree. entitled.
Well, we've seen what a law degree can do for you in many cases, i.e. Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Well, we know how Kamala got hers.
Well, maybe Sunny did the same thing because she's still mad about something in her life. She's
Yeah.
still bitter. All of them are.
Something happened to her in her life.
I mean, this is like the witch's brew right here around this table. They are just look at them all. They look like they're all sitting around.
Even the fake conservative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, what an imposter. For real. These are the same. I feel about these women as the way that I feel about AOC and Tim Walz. Just I can't shake it. I just can't shake it. They're just awful people.
Here's Sunny Hostin having to read truth about Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump's nominee to be our Secretary of Defense. Secretary of Defense.
I see
Go. Sorry.
you. I see you over there.
I have a very quick
Yes,
statement.
it's not going to be that quick.
Pete Hegseth has denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. No charges were ever brought.
You rushed me for that? We'll be right back.
She looks like, what's that movie, Avatar? Whoopi looks like an avatar. Like what would you call that? AI?
I don't know.
Or,
I don't know what you
know the movie Avatar, and they've all got like the weird hair and like their heads are shaved and they've all like almost got like a reptile thing going on top of their head. Look at her.
She looks like Predator to me.
Yeah. Same thing.
Remember Predator, Joe?
Hey,
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Glenn.
you one ugly mother.
Okay, Glenn, that is so funny that you just said that Joe also graduated at the top of his class. Remember when he was trying to convince people of that years and years ago, how he's always talking about Joe Biden is always talking about how he was like top of his class and he graduated with all these different honors and accolades and this and that. Come to find out it was all lies.
Lies, of course.
Lies and more lies.
I just love watching Glenn Predator. She does. Kevin Joseph says she looks like Grimace.
Yeah.
Megan has 3 puke faces down to that hair. Just shave it all off. Robert says, yes, looks like an avatar.
Yeah. Okay, good. See? Yeah.
I don't know. I see Predator.
Versed in movies I am, guys.
So Sunny Hostin having to humble herself yet again, but she doesn't care. That's her. Like, it makes her feel good. Like she's jumping on a grenade for the Democratic way.
Yeah, there's many people right now that just don't know what to say. Just, like the whole Hunter Biden with, the pardoning. I mean, there's so many people that are having to go back and eat their words, and they have not one but 2 feet in their mouth.
Glenn says she looks like Black Grinch.
Actually, that is kind of Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt for sure.
Oh, yeah. Awful. Yeah.
All we need is a little tongue to flip out and grab a fly. And
I would like to know, like, what these women are like off screen. Like, do you think that they have a positive attitude about anything? Or do you think that they just walk around looking for things to just whine about and to be mad about and to be just full of piss and vinegar all day long?
Well, no, it's victim mentality. It's victim society. And unfortunately, I'm not saying all Democrats are, but you know it and you saw it. There's a victim mentality about being a Democrat when it comes to their policy. Let's feel sorry for everybody. And oh no, you can't. They should be able to do everything they want, whether it hurts you or not. If that's how they feel in their heart, then you should give them their right. How dare you think that something is wrong?
Yeah.
Anyway, been there, done that. Sunny Hostin got slammed again because you have to be careful about what you say when you go on that show. Pete Hegseth's attorney went right back and said, wrong. Now you have to do a legal report.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that these people, are taking the time to go after. There you go. Very similar. See?
Thanks, Joe.
Now that was good, Joe. But taking the time to go after these people that are just, trying to just slander anybody that has anything to do with President Trump, or actually just the Republican Party in itself. they are slandering and lying about in ways that it's just crossing the line. And God forbid anybody come back. I mean, I'd like to dig up some dirt on Whoopi and Joy. I mean, Joy is like 110 years
Who
old.
cares?
You know she's
who
got
cares?
some skeletons
They're
in their
nasty.
closet.
They're nasty.
Yeah,
Look
well,
at them. They're ugly.
I know.
They're ugly. The first thing I see is their ugly heart. Then I see their ugly face, their bodies. They probably stink. I mean, all of it's just nasty. It's just,
Yeah, they are.
it's demonic and evil.
Where
and
where was Joy? Where was our number one witch?
I don't know.
She's
was
the leader.
making up her brew somewhere.
She was
Anyway.
doing some voodoo on somebody probably.
But anyway, they got their lunch handed to them yet again, and keep talking crap, and the law offices and attorneys of those who you go after will be contacting you, and you'll be giving them more publicity, because now what you have become is a spokesvoice of Fox News. You have, and these people, whether you realize it or not, because of your anger getting the best of you. You brought it up, those Hunter Biden stuff still going on. I'm tired of it, but I understand it's historic, because not only what it does for Hunter, but now who else is he going to pardon? His brother, the whole crime family, and what they got away with for 10 years. Yep. You're concerned. I'm like, I don't know where. I'm not concerned about Hunter because I always expected it, but I didn't really think about the next steps. Like every one of those family members who just made that office so damn filthy.
Yeah.
And what they did. I'd rather have Bill Clinton do what he did in the office than what the Biden crime family syndicate was doing to America.
Well, yeah, I mean, money laundering through, I mean, no wonder we've given Ukraine so much money. It's just,
it's money laundering.
It's all making sense now. All of it, the Burisma, all of it is making sense. And yeah, like you said, I mean, is Joe gonna pardon his brother to make sure that he doesn't get in any trouble, and just the idea that he went and did that big of a chunk of time to pardon. It wasn't just one issue. I'm going to pardon him on, gun charges and just leave it at that. No, he basically encompassed a period of time of 10 years of Hunter's life, probably when he was, at his height of committing crimes, the ones that we saw and the ones that we didn't see, and completely pardoned that entire time. And yesterday, on and on, all day long, I heard so many people say, if you really thought that Joe Biden was going to not pardon his son, you're either an idiot, you're gullible. I heard all
that was
of
my
these.
that was my my take.
That's what you
said.
said.
If you didn't think he wasn't gonna, then you're living in la la land.
Yeah, but then so you hear people like that on both sides, Republicans and Democrats saying that. But then you've got a lot of these Democrats that are coming out and saying, like Charlemagne the God, he even came out and he was like, Joe, that was wrong. Like what he did, he should not have done. And I think that there was a lot of people that were holding out hope that he might actually do one thing, just one that he said he was going to do.
No, he's not. He's saving his ass. He's saving his family's ass because he knows that the DNC didn't have his ass. They kicked his ass to the curb. So that's what he cares about now. It's taking care of his family. They're getting out of town. His days on this earth are numbered. And we know he doesn't think straight, people. He doesn't.
Yeah, he does not.
This is Jill. This is his family. Remember, Joe hasn't all of a sudden got a clear brain. He doesn't all of a sudden have an ability to think straight. He's still the bumbling fool idiot that we saw for the last 3 years. Really, just like, what you saw. So there's so many things that are going on that we don't even realize. And I learned that news. We learn about things and are told about things when it's time for us to learn. So many other factors are going into equations behind the scenes that are taking place right now that we don't even know about. These are the serious situations. So anyway, he's done. He's going to pardon his brother, and the whole family will be taken care of. Yeah. But there is a little bit of a saving grace, somewhat, kind of. And the other part about that is the fact that you've got a situation where, and this is why I was not upset with this, because once again, this gives even more of a mandate to Trump, as we talked about yesterday. But Congress could still subpoena Hunter to ask him questions. I didn't know about this till last night, about anything that he could not invoke the Fifth Amendment on before, because of this right now. That's what I'm freaking loving life about it. So
Yeah, and then get him on perjury.
once you've been pardoned, you lose that right. So now you have to go talk.
Yep. Yeah. So if they subpoena him, have him come in and question him on any of those crimes, and he perjures himself, new crimes.
Well, they could decide whether
can't
they want to
pardon
do
on
this or
that.
not. I do feel somebody will go after that.
I do too.
Because America
Absolutely,
needs
I do.
transparency, truth, clarity, which is what we haven't had for the last 4 years. And
Yeah.
thank God that's where we're headed right now.
Exactly.
Glenn says the blatant pardon on any future charges will be challenged in the Supreme Court of the United States. I agree. And I think they'll shoot it down. I really do.
Yeah.
Kimberly says better have a priest come in to perform an exorcism on the White House before Trump moves in. No doubt about that.
Oh, did you guys see, anybody see the side-by-sides? You know, Jill just presented her Christmas decorations at the White House.
Did
right?
not
It's this
see
big
that.
presentation. And they did a side-by-side of what Melania had in the White House during Christmas and what Jill Biden has. And it is hilarious because you've got this, I mean, beautiful, elegant, it just makes you feel Christmassy inside and out. And then you look at Jill Biden's and you're like, you feel like maybe you're at like a 1973 circus show is kind of what it reminded me of. Just so funny, the difference. And I mean, she's a lot older, but still you would think that that would make her be the one that was like more classic and more vintagey in the right kind of way. But yeah, it looks like a freak show over at the White House right now.
Speaking of freak show, KJP, who the White House took with Joe Biden to Angola so that she didn't have to face the press, and she's going to have to face them eventually. Once again, they're just cowards. They run around. I mean, most of the Democrats I know, it's just, there's a cowardness to the ones we see at upper echelons of government. KJP refused to talk, but she came out yesterday and gave a response and lied. And this is the new excuse that the Democrats have for Joe Biden lying to the American public.
His last name was Biden because he was the president's son. That's what we saw. And so the president believed enough is enough, and the president took action. And he also believes that they tried to break his son in order to break him. That's what we saw. And this, again, I am just repeating what the president said. I think the statement in full really lays out his thought process. He said that he came to this decision this weekend, and he wrestled with it. It wasn't an easy decision to make.
Just real quick on that. The two of them were together this weekend. Did the president and Hunter discuss this possibility? Did they talk about this happening?
So what I can say is he made this decision this weekend. He made it himself. I don't have anything else to discuss beyond that.
I don't know if you talked about Hunter.
I just don't have anything to discuss. I've been pretty consistent in not talking about private conversations that he's had with his family. I just don't have anything to say. Besides, the president made this decision this weekend, as he said in his statement, and he made this decision himself. Once he made this decision, he shared it with his senior staff.
The reasons he laid out in his statement, if we assume those to be correct, that's been correct. Those are not changes that occurred this weekend. So what changed his mind this weekend?
Again, it's in his statement. He wrestled with it. He thought about it.
He wrestled,
and he believed, and what he saw was that his son was singled out.
Oh, here it is.
He made the
Singled
decision,
out.
and once he made the decision, which was this weekend, he decided to move forward with it and not to wait.
Okay. KJP
Unbelievable.
audio, because they refuse to do any press briefings, of course. When she does get back to the White House, Ducey is going to have his way with her, and not trying to do something intentional or bad, but just get real responses. Asking her, do you realize how many times, and we showed the video to you yesterday, 3, 4, or 5 different times, where you talked about what the president was going to do, which was no, not going to pardon. And we know why. Once he realized that the DNC took him out And then he realized that Kamala Harris was losing, and he realized that Donald Trump was going to come in and not pardon his son. Oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this right now. It's just all. But thank God the American people have woken up. They are. They're waking up. They see it. This is all going to be over very soon. Unfortunately, the Biden crime syndicate will get away with the crimes that they have committed. However, and hopefully this is a good thing, it sets more of a precedent for Donald Trump. We've talked about the mandate he has, and the American people can see just what the Democratic Party has become. And if the Democrats think that they're going to win any elections of significance in 2 years or 4 years, they won't. Think again, especially with the great that is on the horizon with Donald Trump and the amazing nominee picks that he will get through that are already starting to make America great again, more financially, fiscally responsible again, healthier again, and just amazing in every single way. It's happening.
Yeah.
But what a liar.
What a liar. And for him to say that it was political retribution against him, that he was singled out. These Democrats, whatever they're up to and whatever they're doing, it's what they're doing. Whatever they're accusing someone else of doing, they're actually doing. And this is just.
Isn't that called narcissism?
Well, it's called a lot of things, probably things that we shouldn't say on air, but
no one's above the law.
Yeah, no one's above. I mean, no one's above the law.
How many times do you have to see that?
The political retribution and going after someone and singling someone out based upon political, policies or whatever you want to call it is what they've been doing to Donald Trump for the last 4 years.
Well,
they have gone after him for everything, and for him to say that his son, who is proven. I mean, the gun charges, falsifying records. I mean, we won't hold the heroin, the hookers, and all of the other things against him because he's a recovering addict. And we all need to rejoice for that and be joyful.
Remember, I told you it's been the party of victimhood. It's not just entitlement. It's the party of we're victims. It's the party of excuse making. It's the party of we can't help ourselves. It has been the party of bad, which is why I'm trying to focus on the positive.
Yeah. That's
all in the past. And I don't want to, I know I'm dipping my toes back in that negative pool of water, and I want to swim in the pool of positivity now with Donald Trump. But I know you're like, we can't forget what they did to us.
I can't.
But I'm trying to stay positive because things are changing. If we're carrying around that baggage, the Biden baggage on us, it's going to be difficult to truly enjoy the Trump train of the Trump train of success and everything that's coming down the track.
Well, I just want to say
Merry Trumpmas.
Yeah, that's
I don't
right.
mean to be, that's sacrilegious. Merry Christmas with Trump on the way.
Yes.
But it feels like Trump is a part of it.
He's like Santa on the sled, and
Santa.
He's coming around and just delivering all sorts of goodies. Even if you don't have a chimney, you're getting goodies.
Trumpapalooza.
Yeah,
I'm loving
there
it.
we go.
I need to put my Donald Trump picture back behind me.
Yeah, you do.
We'll do that in a
But
second.
I don't know. I think that as far as Hunter's concerned, I don't know. I mean, he's like Jill Biden said, she's like, of course, like that's a dumb question that you're going to ask me how I feel about my son, our son being pardoned. She's like, of course I'm happy about it. So, that right there just goes to show that there was no way that Jill was not going to allow Joe to not pardon Hunter, regardless of all of the laws that he broke. It doesn't matter. And for them to have repeatedly called Donald Trump a threat to democracy over and over and over, this right here shows that he's going to pardon someone that has criminal indictments against him. He's going to pardon. That to me is anti-democratic.
Are you angry about this?
I very much am.
I'm not. Maybe I should be.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking for any kind of like retribution
I
or
say
revenge.
Angry loosely. I know you're not losing sleep over it, but
no, it bothers me. It really bothers me. I think that for them to go on replay and say, over and over and over, they were going to do something and they were just not going to waver, just like they were not going to waver with their stance and standing behind Israel. How many times did we hear Joe Biden say that? It's the same kind of thing. And so I just feel like the whole thing, it just makes our country and our Constitution and our democracy, if you will, since they're the ones who want to talk about it all the time, it makes it look like a joke. It truly does. I mean, can you imagine what the other leaders of like our foreign adversaries are saying right now? Like that they're just going to go and, you know,
the world is starting to get in line outside of South Korea. I'm still not sure what this breaking news was this morning. South Korea. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, declaring martial law in regards to caring about North Korea. Logan says, yeah, who cares? It will hurt them in the long run. Just be patient. I do feel that patience is a virtue, and patience has not been one of my strong points in my life, but I feel like I'm patient in the situation because we have Donald's nice hand and his appointments on us. They're like, stay calm.
Yeah.
Things are going to be good. We're going to be fine. All is freaking great right now.
Yeah.
Loving life, loving it. Real quick, want to give a shout out to some of our ads, some of our sponsors. Our Century Water System, centuryh2o.com /discount/save sips. Centuryh2o.com. You're not going to find a better water system anywhere. It is absolutely amazing. It takes 10 minutes to put under your sink. It's $350. Not only does it clean the water like most purifiers, but what it does that nobody else does, then it adds magnesium, calcium, and oxygen to your water. Your skin looks better. You have more energy. You sleep better. Why do I know this? Well, because it's happened to me. Literally, there's nothing more you can do to help your body than what water you put in. Water bottles, yeah, every now and then, maybe it's fine, but you get plastic bits of the water bottle in there and it's dead water. You don't have alkaline water. This water stays alive. The tests are there. Check out the site, centuryh2o.com /discount /save sips. People who are using it are reporting all kinds of health benefits. They're talking about things that are changed. We know you can't drink water. Fluoride's not good for you. Even RFK Jr. has this system. The Trump kids have this system. There's a reason why they're all using it. It's because they're talking about making America healthy again. This is where it starts. It starts with what you put into your body. That's the first thing that you can do. So we want to make sure you know that. And when you do get a system, it helps us here at canceltheshow.com. So we're grateful for them jumping in and helping us from that standpoint. Also, when it comes to a conservative attorney, especially when it comes to personal injury, you're not going to find many who promote themselves as being conservative. Well, there is one. He's out of the state of Missouri, but he can practice in all 50 states, and he's kicking butt. His name is David Gregory. He's also a Missouri state senator, the only conservative state senator from Missouri that represents St. Louis County. That's right. The other three are Democrat. He takes care of anything when it comes to a situation of personal injury. Also, religious freedom. Keep in mind, Dave was undefeated, 7-0 when it came to helping people keep their jobs when they refused to take that jab. That's right, 7-0. And then when you use Dave, he'll give you 5% more than what your settlement is if you tell him that you heard about him on Cancel This. 314-619-4230, 314-619-4230, conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. Appreciate everybody jumping in. We'll talk more about the ads and the people who help our show every single day. And by the way, if you want to help us in any sort of way, any donation helps keep us going. You see the quality of work we do here. It costs money to do that. So we're grateful when you support us in any way at canceltheshow.com. Click on donate, canceltheshow.com, and then you click on donate. Not only is the Trump train giving us great news every day, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're getting great news every day. Then word comes out. Remember, we talked about Trudeau from Canada coming being a little lapdog, begging for mercy, jumping up on Daddy Trump's lap.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, I'm sorry. I know I've been out of line. I'll get back in line. Now word leaks out what Trump told Trudeau when he came for his visit to Mar-a-Lago, which has now become White House 2. It's become White House South, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, and
Elon's the guard.
Elon's bouncing around.
He like
Mar-a-Lago.
he owns the place. Anybody want to come down and have a meeting with me? I'm down at Mar-a-Lago.
By the way, on top of us loving Elon for what he is trying to do, and he didn't have to do any of this, he's now said he doesn't want a penny. You know, of course, I know he's worth $300 billion, whatever. He doesn't want it. He just wants to help. He wants to see America succeed and flourish like we should.
Yeah.
Then we hear what Trudeau was told. We get word from Ducey reporting this, and this came out yesterday. Gotta love it, and I love the work that he does. Check this out.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy. Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Brett.
Love
More
it.
on that. Oh, come on, Brett.
Yeah.
Brett,
Laugh,
that
Brett.
was your chance
Yes.
to dive in. Brett, you're an accomplished journalist and you did an amazing interview with Kamala Harris. You did not let her squirm out. Come on. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that was, I mean, what a perfect response from Trump. What a perfect response. Well, maybe you want to join us? Because it sounds like you might need some help.
I like Canada.
Yeah.
I'm all about positivity. Let's bring Canada on as our 51st state.
Gosh, what a huge state. You know, and what I love about Canada is that they're always like on the down low. You know, you never, I mean, I'm not saying that nothing bad happens in Canada, but you know, as far as world affairs, they're always on the down low. They always just kind of, it's like Switzerland. They just are kind of out of everything. They never, you know, get involved in a whole lot. I like that about Canada. But yeah, I just, you know, in Ducey, what a perfect person. I mean, the guy, how he can even relay news to us without just laughing. I don't know. He's awesome though. I just love him. He's so great.
Think about this at Mar-a-Lago, because we've heard some stories. Megan and I, we know some people. And by the way, it's not like we can talk about it now. Axios has reported that Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey was interviewed for FBI director. And so Megan and I got some news of this happening a few weeks ago, where Andrew Bailey, who is a very accomplished attorney general already, love him. And if anybody knows Andrew, they know that he would love to be governor of the state of Missouri. Well, allegedly his interview didn't go amazing, but you know, we were told that he met with Elon. We were told he met with the Trumps. We were told he met with my favorite, Charlie Kirk. Love Charlie. Love the work that he does, by the way. Charlie Kirk, in my humble opinion, even though a lot of us and people who listen to us know the work that he does, but I especially love Charlie Kirk. I respect him for a variety of reasons. And check him out if you're not familiar with him, but met with him. But apparently Andrew loved Missouri so much that maybe his interviews didn't go as well, but he loved Missouri that much, which bodes well for Missouri in the future when it comes to future governors, possibly. But anyway, stories of Elon hopping around, bopping around, as I said, Mar-a-Lago, like they're all the time. Like that's where the meetings have been taking place. If you if you have an interview with Donald Trump,
the place.
You're going to Mar-a-Lago, which is just so cool.
It is cool. And it's funny at the same time.
Kimberly says, I love watching Ducey with KJP.
Oh,
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, it's become great theater.
That's the best SNL skits in the world. They need to start doing based on Ducey and KJP. It'd be awesome.
Tanya says, do you think Trump will take presidential money this year?
I don't know.
He deserves it with all the fraudulent information. He didn't take his salary before.
No.
He donated it all.
I doubt he will. I truly do.
And it's not about needing the money. It's a respect factor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just about respect. And just because you have a very, very rich friend or family member who pays for things or tries to pay for things, and you know they don't need your money, it's still a thing of integrity and a thing of class to try to pay for something.
Kind gesture.
Just a kind gesture. Say, you know what? We know you don't need the money, but you take care of things so much. And you know, everybody, or I think most people know somebody or has somebody like that in their life. It's just a kind thing to say, you know, thank you this way. No, we insist. Just something of this nature. It's small, but go. So Trump has already said he won't take the salary. So
yeah. Hey, can I just touch on this? Because I feel like our listeners and our viewers, everybody's really, really into the whole South Korea thing going on.
Are they really?
Yeah, they keep talking about it and bringing it up.
Really?
And,
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Logan, there's several
What do you want to bring up?
Well, I think people are just kind of, and some people are wondering, but the last that I saw was that the Democratic opponent within South Korea, so much like here, you know, you vote, you know, and you know, and who your president's going to be, and the Democratic Party, opposition party, they're feeling like our sympathizers with North Korea, and so they say that that basically that's not going to work here. So they are doing everything that they can to make sure that this, you know, opponent doesn't gain traction, because so they're just going to put a stop to it. So, when I was reading it early this morning, I was like, gosh, kind of sounds like, right, what's going on here. You've got people that are trying to do bad things and people that are trying to do good things. And, it's so they're just like, no, if you want to be anything like North Korea, I suggest you go to North Korea.
Well, everybody's jumping on the Trump train.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I told you about Mark Zuckerberg yesterday? Now it's come out in a big time. The Financial Times is reporting that Zuckerberg has, yes, indeed said that he wants a, quote, active role with Trump's tech policy department. Once again, Mark Zuckerberg wanting an active role.
Oh my gosh.
And I know that freaks out a lot of people. It does. But
no,
once again, when it comes to Donald, aren't we at the point where we trust him?
Keep your enemies close. Is that what you're going to
yes.
say? No, we
I
can't.
trust him.
No,
you would not want Mark Zuckerberg anywhere working with tech policies with Donald Trump.
After what he has done to
know,
the American people, he'd be better off sitting at the table with the View.
But
at the
okay,
View with the witches.
I'm going to give you an example. Here we go. Don't you believe in conversions?
Yeah.
Okay. So then there you go. Conversions can happen, because I know when you go to your little Bible study with your other little ladies like yourself and you talk about Bible scripture, you can't talk about the Bible without talking about the conversions, because the man who wrote most of the New Testament, Mr. Paul, had a big conversion himself.
Well, Mark Zuckerberg's Jewish.
So?
Well, unless he's a Messianic Jew.
A Messianic Jew. And I know
okay.
several Messianic Jews.
Then, Mark, if you're looking to be transformed by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and you make it public, I will allow Trump to have you on the tech team.
I knew I was going down a tough road to try to get people to consider Mark Zuckerberg, because everybody's like, hell no.
No.
We dealt with Zuckerberg. All the people on our Facebook chat line have been shadow banned at one point in time, or fatto banned. All of us, our show. I mean,
and then to come out and say that the government forced him to do, I can't with these people.
I think they did.
What the government?
They showed evidence. They showed evidence of the FBI telling him to do what he did.
Yeah, well, that's
and I'm
what
not
he's
trying
saying.
to stick up for Zuckerberg. I'm not. I want all the facts out there. I'm a big fact guy. I want facts, details, information.
Well,
and then we make
I
our
like
decisions.
facts too. And the fact of the matter is, he's a scam artist, and he was completely unfair to, I would more than half of our country for a very long time.
Robert jumping in.
Robert for that.
Robert from Michigan. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but I will get it out there when it came to the whole pardon situation. I didn't want to talk about pardon anymore today. Megan did. Good call, Megan. I'm like, I felt like it was going to happen. It happened. I want to move on. But Robert says, so you guys do realize the dementia Joe just signed Hunter's death sentence. See, now that Hunter has been pardoned, he has to testify truthfully to maintain that pardon. And no action can be taken against him for his participation in any crime. But he has to name his partners in crime. Yeah, we brought this up earlier, and we're like, this is absolutely great. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not over for Hunter. It's not.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Biden.
So it's like the days of our lives. It just, or as the world turns.
Any of them.
Yeah. That's
But
seriously what this is like. It's just ever changing, and it's like.
But this is good stuff.
It is. I love
Zuckerberg
it.
wants to be on Team Trump. Gates was even talking about
Gates
being on Team
Gates
Trump.
can stick it too.
Yeah, I know.
That's for darn sure.
I know. We're yin and yang.
He's a savage.
We're hot and cold. We're the balance.
Mm-hmm.
You want
the
blood.
balance.
You're going after balls. I'm trying to stay positive. You want to hang people.
There are a few. I feel like, we don't need to get me back into it, but there's a few people that, they shouldn't. I mean, of course they want to be with Donald Trump now. They've seen the light. They've seen the return of the man. They are seeing the return of what's to come. And that's all good things for everyone in this country. Democrats, Republicans, whatever. And of course they want to. And you know what? It's too late. You had the opportunity to do things right and to make things right, and you didn't. And do you guys want my list? Like there's the Epstein list and there's the Diddy list.
January
and then
20th.
I've got a list of people that I would like to
Hey.
throw under the bus and
Could you
not pull him back
please
out.
get us a direct line to Elon, please, or Vivek Ramaswamy so we can
I will
get
be
them,
releasing this
so we can get
list.
Megan's list from that standpoint.
Yeah.
By the way, I love this show, and I love you, Robert. Robert says, can the world really turn since the world is flat?
Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Mhm.
We love it. The other thing that was great from yesterday, I don't want to forget about Ron DeSantis. I love the prodigal son. Speaking of scripture stories, I referred to Ron as the prodigal son to the Trump train. Ron has come back. He's been accepted. And now he is kicking ass for Donald Trump. Here was Ron talking to senators, you turncoat senators, you know, the 4 or 5 of you, who did everything they could to stop Matt Gaetz, to block that nomination. Here he is telling them what they need to do when it comes to Kash Patel, when it comes to FBI director.
But what do you say to the senators on Capitol Hill that are already quietly vowing to put up roadblocks to the president's choice to be FBI director, Kash Patel? What do you say to them given the outcome of this election?
So, one, I think you do owe the president a great deal of deference on his picks. Kash Patel understands the problems with the FBI, and he is a reformer that will not be captured by the bureaucrats. Contrast that to our current FBI director, Christopher Wray. We remember when he got appointed back in 2017, he immediately became a company man and was captured by that institution. He has not reformed it in any way, shape, or form. And so I actually think Kash has a lot of very significant experience that's important here. But put that aside, you can be the smartest guy in the world. You can have all this experience. If you don't understand that the institution needs to be reformed, if you get captured, then you're done. You're not going to be effective. And so I think Donald Trump in this pick and others, he's making sure he's getting people who have the proper posture to these institutions. These are not the revered institutions that they may have been 30 years ago. These are very problematic institutions. Kash understands that. I think a lot of Republican senators understand that, but apparently not enough do.
Do you expect him to get confirmed, Governor?
I do.
All right. Governor DeSantis, thank you.
I agree
like
as well.
that.
And it's not that the senators don't know. If they're not voting for him, that's because you know they are bought and paid for, or they got caught doing something bad. I feel shame. And then, of course, that's what happens. We've told you the stories, what can happen in D.C. If you don't take care of yourself and your actions and your words, you can get caught up. And then you have to start answering. And then you are somebody who is stuck. And then you have to make these votes. Robert says, France on the brink, government headed for collapse as Le Pen backs no confidence against their prime minister. Yeah, there's a lot of things going around the world. There's always things going on around the world. Right now, we're trying to take care of America first. And we pray that the entire country doesn't become a total crap show before, or excuse me, the world before Trump gets in. Yeah. But don't think for a second that Donald Trump, he already called 70 world leaders before Thanksgiving. Don't think for a second that he and his team are not already talking and working behind the scenes. Once again, we find out what we're supposed to find out when it's time for us to find out. Yeah. There are actions. There are, as much as Donald Trump is a leader and the team that he has assessed, don't think for a second that they're not already trying to lead this country. That's what's happening. The White House has become Mar-a-Lago, and that's where activity is taking place. They're doing as much as they possibly can, while you have the outgoing Joe Biden, who is not running this country. We already know that. And we are not conspiracy theorists for saying there's a deep state. Even people in the media are now talking about deep state. They're talking about it. Who has been talking about the deep state for the last 2.5 years? We have. Thank God the man who hates Donald Trump, Bill Maher, even talked about, listen, Democrats, there is a deep state, a group of people in an organization that's trying to do away with American values and tear this country down. It exists. So there's this fight that's going on behind the scenes now, Megan. There is, that we don't know about. Who the hell is running America right now?
Yeah.
It's not Joe Biden.
No.
It's not. It's not Kamala Harris.
No. Yeah, who is making I mean, and again, we know that the presidential decisions.
Antony Blinken, who continues to give hundreds of millions of dollars to Ukraine.
Yeah, he needs to. Can't wait for him to adios it too, big time.
But I like I said, I gave my total mandate to Trump after what that man has gone through, after everything that has happened the last year and a half to 2 years. Robert says China's running America.
Yeah.
Well, China was running America for the last 4 years. Just look at the balloon that was able to fly right across our country, gathering all kinds of intel, while Joe Biden didn't do anything
And we
about
all
it.
looked at it and waved and, oh, look.
No, I didn't. Our listeners didn't. You didn't.
Well, I mean, how many days was that thing floating around? And we didn't do anything. I mean, it literally went across America and then ended up, what, in the ocean or something? I mean, we all just like watched it. It was like it was no big deal.
I love our viewers and our listeners. Glenn adding some credibility to the things that we talk about when it comes to the deep state, when we talk about turncoats, if you want to call them rhinos, whatever. Biden had 21 appointments. 21. Not one, I repeat, not one Democrat voted against. That's team unity. Those are the army ants that Eric talks so affectionately about. But then you have all these Republicans who are bought, paid for rhinos, which is why I say you need to know every single vote that they have. Screw the private voting. We need to know who you are, what you are, because this is 2025 coming up. This isn't 1980 anymore.
And we're able to call out our own Republican rhinos, the people that represent our party that maybe shouldn't. Yeah, well, we're
learning.
We have. But what I'm saying is, we are well aware. We're not in denial about the fact that there are some Republicans that don't want what's best for the Republican Party. That's a fact. But the Democratic Party, they might be this tight knit group of army ants, but at least we are able to say what is what. And what is real and what's going on in order to get in there and weed them out if we can.
Yeah, but there's going to be a fight. As great as I feel and as good as we should feel as Americans and as a country that Donald Trump is coming back to office and putting together the Avengers, so to speak, when it comes to his cabinet, when it comes to his picks, there's always going to be a fight. Where there's good, there is bad. Where there is holy, there is not. Yeah. Case in point, Chuck Schumer reelected this morning as the Senate Democratic leader. Why would a man who has such unpopular views, his popularity has really fallen off the cliff, even with Democrats, because he represents their old guard. He represents that nastiness that we saw coming out of New York.
Yeah.
You know why? It's that same pull. It's because once you get in, you have that pull, you have control over others. How do you have control over others when you have no popularity? It's because you're doing things behind the scene. Case in point on the Republican side, Mitch McConnell. He had like a 20% approval rating, yet he was still able to hang on. You know why? Because he had power over certain people. That's why we need as much truth and transparency as possible. So I'm not shocked, even though I am surprised, that Democrats would still allow that to happen, that they couldn't oust him. That should tell you about things that are happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, it sure should. Because he's, the one thing that I've liked about Chuck Schumer in recent months was his response to Kamala being possibly the person that they were going to put in place for Joe Biden. And his response was organic. And it was, oh my God, what are we doing? I hope that this does not happen. And I was like, and then of course, after he came out, because he couldn't help it. I mean, they were running after him and they wanted to know, like, what do you think about this? Like, is this really going to happen? Before they all got together, like you said, had their little, marching ant, group meeting and told everybody, look, this is how you need to play this out. You guys need to act like we're all, in agreement with having Kamala run, and act like you love her and act like she's the best thing next to sliced bread and, do all of these things. But he was the one person that's really stood out to me in those beginning days. And he was just like, he was not happy about it. And he had no qualms about letting people, without saying, I hate the woman, you could tell that he thought it was the worst thing ever. And so that was like really like the only real thing that I actually appreciated about Chuck Schumer. Other than that, I can't believe it either. I can't believe that they'll let him back in there too.
Did you say something positive about Chuck Schumer?
That there was a human moment when he was asked about Kamala Harris. That was it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, no, he can go back under the rock that he crawled out from.
And his fake barbecues on his daughter's porch. Remember the fake barbecue? He didn't know how to barbecue.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even turned on. There was no grill. The grill wasn't on. All the knobs were on off. And what were they? Fake? Were they fake patties?
I can't remember.
They were like fake patties. There was no smoke.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Joe, if you're trying to talk, we don't hear you.
They were frozen.
I can hear him.
Sorry.
Okay.
I heard him.
Yeah, no, he wasn't on.
Say it again, Joe.
No, he just said it. Yeah, from the chat line, he's one of the worst people on the planet. No doubt about it. Trump sure has a mess to clean up. Yes, he will. And there'll be a bigger mess than what there is today. They're doing everything they can right now to lessen the blow when Donald comes into office. But Donald's trying to run the country right now. And the best part about it is he is taking checks and balances. Case in point is Donald Trump warning, and this is the best thing that can ever happen. Donald Trump has warned Hamas. And he says there is going to be hell to pay in the Middle East if the hostages that are still there from October 7th, 2 Octobers ago, are not released by the time he comes into office. This is leadership, not the lukewarm crap bullshit that we saw from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who did not do anything. And I love this quote that Trump put out on Truth Social. This is a leader, and this isn't a tyrant. This isn't a dictator. This isn't the threat to democracy. This is somebody standing up for innocent lives. And we have gone round and round about what happened on October 7th. Quote, everybody is talking about the hostages who are being held so violently, inhumanely, and against the will of the entire world in the Middle East. But it's all talk and no action, exclamation point. Please let this truth serve to represent that if the hostages are not released prior to January 20th of 2025, the date that I proudly assume office as president of the United States, there will be, all quotes here, all hell to pay in the Middle East. And for those in charge who perpetrated these atrocities against humanity, those responsible will be hit harder than anybody has been hit in the long and storied history of the United States of America. And then in all caps with an exclamation point, release the hostages now. Thank you, Mr. Leader. Thank you, Donald Trump, because Joe Biden, his office is bought and paid for. Kamala Harris, you already saw the disaster that she is, was, and will always be, did not do a damn thing for these hostages, those who have been killed, including Americans, and those who are being held.
Well, I think, Vic, that our platform is one of the few that has, in the last year, remembered to constantly bring the hostages up.
We don't do it enough, but we try.
We do. And I love the fact that this is on his priority list. This is one of the loudest things that I've heard him say. And it's about time that someone in a leadership position in this country addresses the hostage situation in this way. Not, well, Joe Biden's like, well, we've told Israel that they might want to do things this way, and that they probably want to ceasefire, and they probably don't want to do anything else to Palestine. They probably want to make sure that Gaza has food. They probably, because, again, Joe Biden will never act like he's bossing Netanyahu around, but he's just offering suggestions. But the truth of the matter is, they don't care about the hostages. They just worry about what's good for their agenda in regards to Israel and Palestine. Nothing about the hostages. Hostages are like secondary to what is going on in the Middle East. And I love that Trump is like, you know what? the whole reason that this is still going on to this date is not because Israel is trying to be the big bad wolf. It's because we have hostages that are still there and they're not returned. And I mean, it's basic math. 1 + 1 = 2. Give us the hostages and things will end.
Donald Trump has given you a chance. He has given you the warning. This has gone on way too long. And you know what you did October 7th. If you don't, and then you pay for it, that's on you. And of course, we already know what Hamas and Hezbollah and all these evil, I repeat, evil terroristic organizations are and do, and hide behind women and children like the cowards that they are. If you choose that direction and put innocent lives at risk, that's on you. That's not on the United States, and that is not on Donald Trump. And you deserve every little bit of hell you're going to pay for what you have done. And I can't wait. I still think that they're going to release him. They don't want to deal with Donald Trump. I'm being positive post-election.
What do they have to
but
lose?
This is something you can't be positive about.
The thing that worries me is what do they have to lose?
It's their pride with Israel.
Yeah, but you know what? They're living in these underground tunnels like rats.
That's the life they know.
Right. And that's what I mean. And I mean that we just found another, we found out that another American Israeli hostage is dead.
Yeah, even if they're
still
all
there.
alive.
Yeah. So, it's like, we have to remember that we're not dealing with people that are, of a normal human heart and brain. These people are savage. They're animals. And I don't know what Trump's going to do to force it. I know it's going to be something, and I can't wait to see exactly how he's going to do it, whether he's going to use our military or whose military, whatever. But again, we just have to remember that these people they're not normal. And it'll just be interesting to see what they are like. Okay, so if we don't do it, well, this will happen. If we do it, this will happen. And I'd love to be there when they're deciding those things.
But the time of the inmates running the asylum is over.
Yes.
And if they're still running it right now, it's only for a small amount of time because the American people woke up and they put Donald Trump back in because they don't want what is happening. Case in point again, more research came out yesterday before we leave you today. Donald Trump, I think he flipped 52 counties. The woman that he ran against, who was about all hope and change and everything else, didn't flip one county. Not one county in America, which goes to show that Donald Trump has a mandate.
Yeah.
Every state went more red in this election. Every single state, all 50, went more red than blue. So now it's time to take care of the trash. You take the trash out. People are going to whine and cry and scream, and you can't worry about them while you clean up the mess. Because when you're cleaning up the problem, there's people who are going to go against you. Not everybody is going to like what Donald Trump is going to do, but it's time we clean up the country and get rid of the crap, the total crap situations that we're dealing with, and make America great again. Chris says, get ready for worldwide incidents. The mass Islamic migration, especially in Europe, was intentional. Of course it was. Yeah. That's a whole nother subject in itself when you break down what has happened for decades and the plan. And it's not just for now plan, it's a generational plan for generations and generations. It's going to get worse before it gets any better. I agree. But that's where this show talks about your Christian faith and where that stands and what you're doing. Yeah. Todd says, revival time is here. Jeannie says, 86%, baby, can't deny that. Yeah. 48 days away to all kinds of goodness.
Yes.
We like to try to end on positive notes, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it is. I mean, each day, like Vic keeps saying, each day, better and better things are happening. Trump is creating change that just continues to blow our minds, whether it's his appointees or whether him addressing foreign affairs. He is just on top of it. Where this guy gets his energy and his vigor, I just can't figure it out. He is just simply amazing.
Well, we're not seeing a bunch from him. He'll use Truth Social.
And that's what I like.
But he has put together a team to take care of business.
That's right.
And
that's, yeah. I don't want to see him. I told you that. I do not want to see that man at all
You want to be
until
protective,
inauguration. I do.
bulletproof bubble wrap
I absolutely
everywhere that he
do.
goes. Tanya says, amen. Donna
Mhm.
says, celebrate the good times. Come on.
Yep.
I love these times. Hope is eternal. It is.
Yep.
We get real. We get raw. That's what Cancel This has been about since we began this mission. And we're grateful for your support. You can always support us as well. CancelTheShow.com. You click on donate. And at the same point in time, when we thank you for any help, it's also National Giving Day. Charities around the world. It's the first Tuesday following Thanksgiving. Joe put that up. You can donate to Cancel This. We have a QR code as well. Anything helps us with the bills that we have here. We continue to grow from an organic standpoint here in the mornings, 9 to 10 a.m., Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We may be doing some more shows. We're approaching our 500th episode as well. So I think, what are we, like 10 shows away maybe? We might be around 490. I don't know. I think it's coming up. But we're also great for our advertisers too. Complete Auto Body Repair out of the St. Louis area, Missouri. We broadcast live out of the St. Louis area, but we have a national, actually international audience. Complete 5 locations, takes care of your car from A to Z, everything that you could possibly imagine, including tires. They also sell cars at JMBZ Motors. We are also grateful for Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley and Defiance, one of our favorite places to go to relax, unwind, have a drink, have a soda, whatever it may be. And of course, their food, which is terrific. Ben and Marla have supported this show from the get-go. Marla puts together the best menus you can imagine. You get in, you get out, you have some of the best food, you go back. We are grateful for their support. Playoffs, Sports Bar and Grill in O'Fallon. Detroit Mike, the owner, it's over in Triad Center West. Tell him you appreciate him supporting. CancelThisShow.com. We are grateful for that. Hey, it's the holiday season. Ben told us that Trump won, and now people are wanting to dress up a little more. You can check out your custom clothing. It may shock you what you can actually do from a price standpoint in the selection, lifetime alterations as well. Check it out. Once again, Ben Lawler, that's 314-862-6500, 314-862-6500. You can also email him at b.lawler, b.lawler at tomjames.com. Rockwood charcoal. It's the #1 charcoal in America. And if you didn't know, the best charcoal in the country is made in the state of Missouri. That's right. Our climate makes it so that you can make the best charcoal. And you don't want to charcoal with charcoal that's not natural. When you put the additives in, that stuff burns onto your food. Not a good thing. This is all natural. How do you know it? How do you know the Rockwood brand? You simply put it in your hand, you squeeze it, and it crumbles apart. Very simple. You can get Rockwood at Ace Hardware. At least that's what Jonathan Heslop, the owner, says is the best place to get it from. And he supports conservative causes all over this country. He also owns Capriati's, one of the best sandwich shops you're going to find. He loved it so much in Vegas, he brought it to St. Louis. They have the Wagyu beef. The best sandwiches start with the best ingredients. They also roast their turkeys overnight so they're fresh every day. Slice them and dice them in the morning for some of the amazing sandwiches that they have. And if you haven't checked out their situation when it comes to all kinds of food that you can take on the go, check it out. The catering is absolutely amazing. We love it. Tiny says water, sweet tea. Ha, ha, ha. I know it. Paul says best pizza, best wings around when it comes to Wenty's. I think I agree with you as well.
For sure. Nothing there is bad. I don't eat wings, but everything else there that I've had is so good.
And finally, when it comes to real estate, and it doesn't matter if it's here in Missouri or anywhere around the country, check out Megan Livingstone. You got to get a plan in place, a positive approach. Rates are getting ready to get cut. The market is going to hit again. It is. Donald Trump's coming back. 314-249-1708. Whether you want to buy real estate, sell real estate, whether you're trying to fix things up, whether you want to get into a situation where you're buying properties and doing the fixer-uppers, give Megan a call. 314-249-1708. 314-249-1708. Megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. Megan.livingstone@exprealty.com. And we appreciate people jumping in with us again today. I don't know, have we missed anything or anything else we need to get to today?
No, but I just want to say, I just continue to see all kinds of new names of new listeners and viewers. So feel free to pop in and add a comment or, talk to the other people on the chat line. So you're welcome. You know, I know we got a tough crew here that they are on it and they know their stuff, and but they are more than happy to welcome a new person with some comments.
I have to do this before we get out of here, and we can go. Sometimes we go a little longer. Sometimes we get out exactly 10 o'clock. But Jon Stewart, Mr. Democrat, the left even lost him, and
I feel like he was on the. He was teetering for a while.
Well, lots of Democrats this week. Just look at Trump's cabinet picks. I mean, a lot of former Democrats.
Yeah.
I love Jon Stewart breaking down what Democrats have become. Just check out Jon Stewart's breakdown of what Democrats, whether they realize it or not, have become when it comes to the hypocrisy that we're starting to hear, or at least have heard for quite some time. Thank you, Jon Stewart. And what a great way to end our show.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of Democrats that are feeling that way. Like, we were so close, so close, and then the bomb came. Biden dropped another bomb.
Remember to check out our Instagram, our TikTok, our Facebook, our YouTube as well for daily posts that we put out there, our daily reels. When we're not live, you can still catch us live. We'll be back Thursday at 9 a.m. And of course, we appreciate any support. We are grateful for any donations that help keep us going in any way that we can possibly do that. So thank you. We're here for you guys. Always like, subscribe, share the show.
Yes.
All right.
Have
That
a
does
good
it
one.
for the fastest hour plus in podcasting. For Pro Joe, Megan Marie Moret, I'm Vic Faust. Guys, have an awesome day. It is December 3rd. Let's enjoy what God has given us with this new administration.
Yes.
Presence partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie, we're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.